We have the student athletes from Duke University. Just a few reminders. As you begin asking a question, please identify yourself as well as your affiliated news agency. We'll introduce our players from my side across the dais, Zion Williamson, Javin Delaurier, and RJ Barrett. Open the floor for questions. On the front right.
Ben Garrett, the Ole Miss Spirit. Zion, you played AAU ball with Devontae Shuler. You've known him for a while. Just what was he like as a player then? What was your impressions of him, and how far along has he come, do you think?
Yeah, he has come a long way, obviously. But for me, when I played with Shuler, I was a 9th grader, he's a 10th grader, and I was like, yeah, he's the best player in the state. Like, he would impress me with so much. Like, he'd get steals by, like, act like he got faked out by a spin move and just turn right back. He would be a very explosive scorer, like score 15 points straight, and I used to just watch in awe of him. So, yeah, he has come a long way.
On the right side, second row.
Matthew Shanae with TSN. This is for all of you. Notwithstanding the number one seed, this team has gone through a lot this season. Injuries and a tough schedule. How has this team evolved? And we keep hearing brotherhood. How has this brotherhood evolved for all of you?
We'll start with RJ.
Yeah, it's been a challenging year, going through adversity, going through injuries, different stuff like that. But, you know, like you said, brotherhood, we've remained together, and that's what's really helped us along.
I would agree with that. And I would say the adversity that we've gone through has, in a way, made us closer, just because when one guy goes down, we feel like we owe it to him to, you know, continue to produce on the court. And then when they finally get back and join us, you know, we're just happy to have our brother back playing with us again.
To add on what they said, like, when players get hurt, it forces you to respond in a different way, and it just makes us closer as a team because we've been through so much, and the fact that we're here now, I mean, it's a brotherhood. We bonded through it all, and it just makes us close.
Back row in the middle.
Zion, does the location of these first two games have any extra significance to you beyond just the NCAA tournament because it's in your home state?
Yes and no. Yes, because, I mean, I didn't think I would ever, you know, like, have a chance once I committed to Duke to play in the state of South Carolina in a college basketball game. So that's obviously a blessing. So I'm very excited about that. And no, because I can't, like, put my personal, like, excitement ahead of my teammates because at the end of the day, I'm on a team and I want to win with my teammates, and we have to focus on, you know, just winning.
Third row on the left.
Josh Swanson, KFGO, Fargo, North Dakota. For Zion, did you have an opportunity to watch any of the North Dakota State game last night? And if so, what were your impressions of the Bison?
Yeah, I got to watch some of it. My impressions were very good. Like, they play as a unit. They can really shoot, and, like, they remain calm. Like, they got the lead, and then Central cut it down. But even with that momentum swing, they didn't, like, fold, and they held their composure, and they got the win.
Left side, third row.
Pete Yakabelli, Associated Press. Zion, you've been like the biggest story in college basketball all year. How have you maintained your composure through that, and how excited are you for this chapter of playing in the NCAA tournament?
I'm going to thank my parents for that because when I told them I wanted to be a basketball player when I got older, you know, they told me everything that would come with it, like, you know, all the on-court and off-court stuff and the media. So, you know, I was prepared for it, and I'm very excited to be here because, you know, I watched March Madness as a little kid, and to actually be here, you know, playing for Coach K and playing for Duke, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Second row on the left side.
John Del Bianco, 24/7 Sports, Big Spurt. Zion, coming back to your home state, has there been any buzz amongst your family and your friends the last couple of days? How many people do you expect to be here to be able to watch you?
you know, there's going to be a lot of people here because at the end of the day, this is Duke University, so people will be here just because we're Duke. And, yeah, I have, like, a lot of friends and family, you know, tell me, like, good luck, and they're happy for me that I'm able to play in my home state.
Second row, right side.
RJ, this is your own journey, but your godfather is playing the tournament. Your dad had a long career, played in college basketball. What advice do they give you at a time like this? Not necessarily that you might need it or not, but do you listen, and what might they be saying?
Just it's been a great year so far, and not to stop, but just to keep, you know, doing what I've been doing, keep and stay even keeled. We have 6 more games to win, so just you know, stay together as a unit, really. Yeah, we've been texting back and forth. He just told me that just to, you know, remain calm and don't really change what I've been doing all year.
Michael Espy with ABC Columbia. This question's for Zion. What is your most favorite memory about South Carolina and maybe of this town when you were growing up playing basketball?
My favorite memory from playing at Columbia would probably be my junior year, the Chick-fil-A Classic. You know, playing against one of my best friends, Jalik Felton, playing against Keenan High School, and then, I mean, those 3 games we played, those were very exciting 3 games. Each game, the gym was packed, sold out, and the energy that the fans brought was incredible. So that's my favorite memory from playing at Columbia.
Front row on the left side.
Yeah, Kip Coons for Pressbox View. Javin, how has your role either grown or changed because of the injury to Marquise Bolden, and what do you do anything differently to prepare you know, for the games now?
I wouldn't say my role has changed that much. The expectations my teammates and the coaches have for me remain the same. The only difference is I just have to be a little bit more careful, you know, especially with fouls and whatnot, just because our rotations change because Cleese obviously isn't here. But that being said, whenever I'm on the court, I always just try and do the same thing, play as hard as I can, and do whatever I can to help us win.
Back row in the middle.
Andrew Anspack of the State Newspaper. RJ, a little off topic, but you played at Mount Vernon when Jermaine Couisnard was there, who plays here at South Carolina. I think you guys crossed paths a few times in those scrimmages, post-grad versus the undergrad team. What do you recall about him and his game, and what do you think about his future playing here at USC?
He could shoot. Anywhere over, you know, half court is his range. I remember guarding him, and he would pull in my face from half court. So I think he'll be good here.
Front row on the second row on the right side, sorry.
Georgia Godfrey with WSPA out of Spartanburg. Kind of fun question for all of the gentlemen. Is there a particular song on repeat on your playlist right now that's kind of getting you pumped up and in the game?
For this, we'll start with Zion and move down the table.
You're asking for this?
The song that you have on repeat that's kind of getting you pumped up for tomorrow's game.
Mine would be A Dream. It's by Jay-Z, and it features Faith Evans and Notorious B.I.G.
I've been listening to a lot of Roddy Ricch recently, so I'll go with Every Season.
Anything Drake.
Fourth row right side.
Joe Bettner, Norman Transcript. Zion, you mentioned that your parents prepared you to handle the pressures and all the attention you would get. Have any players or coaches reached out to you to kind of help you also maintain that kind of composure that you've showed throughout the season?
Like former players or like former teammates?
I mean, like with last year with like Trae Young, the way he went through it, not particularly him, but have any players reached out to you, you know, helping you, guide you through that just any advice they might have given you?
Oh, yes, sir. A few players have reached out to me. You know, I don't want to say their name because I don't know if they wanted me to share that private information. But, yeah, a few players have reached out, and, you know, they just all told me, like, what to expect, like, that it's college. Like, you're gonna have some good things are gonna happen, and there's gonna be a time where it's not so good. So, you know, I was kind of prepared for this. You know, I had like a cheat sheet on what to expect, basically.
It's the final question, second row, left side.
Mike Uva, Watch Fox, Columbia, South Carolina. Zion, when you look back to last year between the signing, being able to win another Skeezer State championship, actually I know it brings a smile to your face. Obviously, everything's been going on crazy. You know, you have to get ready to go to Duke. Everyone's talking about what's going to be next for him, making millions, NBA, all that kind of stuff. When you had your injury a couple weeks back and everyone's speculating, did you have a time to maybe reflect a little bit and kind of be like, you know what, this is my last go, this is why I want to play? Because some people were saying he should just sit this one out.
Yeah, I did think about that because, you know, I always knew I was going to come back because I just love playing the game of basketball. I love my teammates, and I made a commitment to them when I committed to Duke, and I feel like I would have been a bad person if I didn't come back. So coming back was not an issue, but one thing I did think about when I was out was, I mean, a year has gone by fast. Like, just last year I was a senior in high school. My high school season was over at this point, and just, you know, you just think about life and how you just have to enjoy every moment.
Thank you. Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski. It's an opening statement, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
Yeah, well, we're obviously very excited to be here. Tournament's already going on. I know our guys are anxious to play. You know, we're coming off of a great performance in the ACC championship in the tournament. You'll see if you watch our workout for 40 minutes today that Marquise will be ready to play. And I don't know how many minutes, but he'll be ready to play. He won't start. And Jack White, there's a good chance he will not play. He hurt his hamstring a little bit against Florida State. He's close, but I don't anticipate him playing in the first game. Maybe in the second, but it may, if we win, maybe in the second. And if we can continue to win, then hopefully going forward. But Marquise will play. So any questions that you all might have?
Center aisle.
Hey, Mike. David Cloninger with the Charleston Post and Courier. Bill Foster preceded you at Duke and then came here to South Carolina. What do you remember about Coach Foster, and did you ever run into him after he left and was here?
Yeah, you know, Coach Foster really was one of the outstanding coaches and guys in the game. Great promoter. Really helped move the needle for Duke in those late 70s, because after Coach Bubas left in the 60s, you know, in the start of the 70s was a rocky time. And when Coach Bubas did such a great job, and then Bill put together a great team, you know, and almost won the national championship. And you know, left, and we had a couple of years of rebuilding, then we're able to keep it going.
Right side, about halfway back.
Jeff Gravely, WRL-TV. Coach, why do you think your four freshmen have been able to work so well together here in an era of I got to get mine, whether it's points, playing time, or whatever? They just...
Yeah, well, they're great kids, and they're very secure about who they are. They're really all about winning, and they've been terrific, and our upperclassmen have been good with them, and you would not know class on our team, you know, who eats together, who's hanging with one another, and but those four kids are are very special, and they've been parented extremely well and prepared well for something bigger than them. They're always involved with something bigger than them, and it's a pretty cool thing.
On the aisle, on the right side, second row.
Matthew Cheney with TSN. Coach, to that point, in particular, RJ and Zion, with all the challenges this season, how have you seen them evolve, not only as players but people?
No, great, and I think they bring the best out of one another on and off the court. The two of them become brothers, and I've had a chance to coach a lot of really good teams and coached the U.S. team for 12 years, and a lot of times when talent plays with talent on both sides gets better. And also because personally, you can become good friends because you actually know what the other guy is feeling because he's also really good. And they've not had a chance to do that. But we have other guys like that. But the two of them in particular, right away. And I think a big part of that was our Canadian trip when we had a couple injuries. Trey and Cameron could not play, so it was kind of all on those two guys, and they forged a great friendship.
Third row on the left side.
Josh Swanson, KFGO, Fargo, North Dakota. Coach, did you have an opportunity?
I figured you weren't from Mississippi.
That accent gives it away, right?
I thought the movie was coming on.
It's the cold air up there.
Hear that? It's a hell of an impersonation.
Did you have
do you do like improv?
I do weddings and bar mitzvahs.
You got me next bar mitzvah. All right.
Did you have an opportunity to watch North Dakota State's game against Central, and what were your impressions of the Bison?
No, I've watched them a lot. I've watched both those teams before they played last night. Actually, the game last night was a big-time game. Both teams were deserving of winning. Great pressure. I thought both teams responded very, very well. It's a heck of a game. Coach Richmond, he's done a great job with his squad. They're deep. They share the ball. Obviously, they shoot really well. But they play like one, and so I'm very, very impressed with them.
Second row, right side. Second row.
George Reed Godfrey, WSPA Spartanburg. After last year's upset with Virginia, how aware are you that anything is possible, and how has that influenced your preparation for tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I didn't need that upset. I mean, we've been upset in the first round. I have personal experience, and anything can happen in the tournament, and because there's so many champions. Like the team we play tomorrow, North Dakota State, is a championship team. They won the Summit League. It's different, when you're playing a championship level team. So they know how to win. They've been in pressure situations, and they've been in that moment, and they'll have that moment again tomorrow. And we respect that, and we'll be prepared to play a championship team.
Front row.
Hey, Kip.
Kip Coons.
You got it.
Kip Coons, Press Box View. Mike, I know you and Johnny Dawkins talk during the season. How soon after the bracket came out did you guys share anything?
I haven't really talked to much of anybody. I've been under the weather for about 9 days, and so my texting and Bitmojis and all that have been they've been tabled for a little bit. But Johnny and I talk quite a bit during the season. He's done a marvelous job with his team. I'm proud of him and really happy that he came to Duke about 37 years ago.
Front row in the corner.
Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel. Follow up on that. Can you just talk about what Johnny meant to your program in those early stages when you were building it?
Yeah, Johnny meant everything. He was the first great player that believed in us, and he started it along with that class. with Allery, Billis, Henderson, and then Tommy Amaker joining them. And that served as the foundation for our program. And we've tried to recruit youngsters just like them because we found that those type of youngsters can win at Duke and win at a high level. But Johnny's like, they're family, you know, like, but it's so important to us, no question.
Second row left side on the aisle.
Steve Wiseman, Durham Herald Sun. When Marquise was out last weekend, Javin got more minutes, Antonio got a little bit. What did they show you during that time that can help you going forward, even now with Marquise coming back?
Yeah, it does help, Steve. I thought Javin played his best basketball of his career, and maybe his best game against Florida State. And but that whole tournament, he played well. And then for Antonio to come in against North Carolina and do so well means that all these kids have been ready. You know, they've had great attitudes, and the more depth that we have, the better.
Fourth row on the left side.
Beth Wool, KVLY in Fargo, North Dakota. Forgive me, Coach.
How come you don't have his accent?
Because I'm actually from Chicago.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a transplant.
I'm from Chicago, too.
Oh,
so.
nice. Naperville. Yeah.
No, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, no,
You're from
I
the
know.
suburbs.
That's why I had to explain. I couldn't take credit.
Shire tries to do that all
Yeah.
the time with me. I said, you're from Glenbrook.
Yeah, I
No.
know.
All right.
Forgive me for not knowing, but it has to have been a long time since you were considered an underdog in a basketball game. Is there a level of envy in what the Bison have coming into this, that free spirit, that nothing to lose that they get to bring to a basketball game?
Why would you assume that that we wouldn't have that?
Because you're the #1 seed.
But you only win if you have that. So if you need to lose to have that, then you would never win. So we try to have that while we're winning. And that's how you sustain excellence, and that's what we're going to try to do. We will try to be as hungry and as into the moment as the team that we're playing against. In fact, we'll try to be more.
Back right corner.
Will Logic, South Carolina Radio Network. Coach, as far as what was the tenor of the advice that you gave Zion from the time that he was out to the time he came back in the ACC tournament, and what ultimately led him, in your mind, to be ready to come back and play?
Well, the very first thing is he always wanted to be back. You know, he loves Duke, loves his team, and he's playing great. And his parents are terrific. Not so much advice. I just told him, look, if you don't want to play, if you're concerned, don't play. Don't ever feel like you have to play unless you want to play. And so it started from there. And we were very, very cautious in making sure that he's a much different player than anybody. And so I wanted to make sure that he was ready before, you know, where he could be instinctively reactive, and because that's what he does. And once he was ready to go, he went. And I was shocked, really, with his endurance during the ACC tournament. For him to play 35-plus minutes in 3 consecutive games was absolutely remarkable. And but no, it's always been what's in the best interest of the player, always, and always should be.
We have 2 questions left. One's going to be on the left, and then we'll finish in the back right corner.
Keith Albertson, KVRR TV out of Fargo. NDSU likes to spread out the scoring a lot of different guys who can lead the team in scoring. Is that a lot tougher when you can't just key in on one guy to shut him down?
Yeah, well, it just depends on, you know, if it's a really good team, you know, and they're a really good team. So it's not just that they spread the scoring, but they use the court. They use the three-point shot to create really good spacing. And then it creates more scoring opportunities for more people. And so, yeah, they'll be difficult to defend. And I don't know if it's more difficult, but they're difficult. You know, we play a lot of teams where it's difficult to defend. and hopefully we'll be successful tomorrow.
Last question, back right corner.
Hey, Coach. Allison Williams, ESPN. First of all, sorry not feeling well. Curious how you have evolved or modified your coaching approach and messaging, if at all, when you get into this tournament with a team that has so many young players.
Yeah, I think this is our 35th time in the NCAA tournament, and you have to adapt to the type of kids you have, the culture, 80s, 90s, and then to the age, and it's not just the age, but the experience. You might have an older team that isn't experienced in the tournament, and for us, we try to approach every game the same, not just in the tournament, but in the season. Every game is huge for us, and so that when we get here, when everyone else says it's huge, we already know what huge means. And we don't have to let the ambiance or the environment of the tournament determine that. We've determined that. So if we played North Dakota State in November 23rd, it would be a huge game for us. And so it's not going to change. And the more you keep things similar, you get into the habit of performance. And so I think our guys are ready to go. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.